Hello, it is lovely to see you on the mat. Welcome back to Yoga with Paige. So, you've probably heard yoga can improve your physical, mental, and emotional health when practiced regularly. So, today I am bringing you a lot of common poses, 10 common poses that you will find in a lot of beginner friendly classes as well as intermediate, advanced. We start from the foundation, we build it up. So all of these postures, when practiced together in conjunction, really kind of give you a broad overview of everything yoga can do for your body and your mental state. So it will help with digestion. We will stretch and strengthen almost every part of the body, the front and the back. We will relieve some stress. We can help alleviate some mild neck and back pain, as well as target specific areas of the body and different things, relieve headaches, menstrual pain, things like that. So we will be diving into, like I said, 10 of the more common poses, giving an overview of what they should kind of look like and the benefits of all of these. And if you practice these 10 poses or yoga in general for about a month, you will start to see benefits and changes in your physical body and in your mental health. And I 100% fully believe this. So if you don't believe me, make sure to practice along with me. I have tons of free classes of varying different lengths and styles and levels, and you can feel and see the change for yourself. So we are going to dive into these 10 postures that if you practice for a month or even just a few weeks, you are sure to notice a difference. But I do want to say, if you're new to yoga or just beginning your yoga journey, your own yoga practice, some of these postures may not be the most comfortable at the start. Some of them were not my favorite either, and it took me a while to really get comfortable with them and enjoy them a little bit more. So with time, with regular practice, these will become more comfortable in your body. They will feel more natural. So if you practice these along with me today and they feel a little weird or you're kind of unsure, unconfident about it, give it some time. It will feel better in your body. But then please also feel free to comment or reach out, email me, contact me on other platforms if you have any questions or any concerns after this video.
Starting our first pose with child pose. This is a great resting pose for stress and tension relief as you're grounded close to the floor. So we're sitting up, our belly is on our knees, reaching the fingertips forward. This helps to awaken the breath-body connection as you can really relax here. It stretches the lower back and relieves pain from the neck. This is often used at the beginning or end of a practice and can be revisited between poses when your body needs a quick break. This is a great transition pose. It is great for many, many things. You will find this in so many classes of all level types. So find your favorite position in child pose because you will be revisiting it often. And from child pose, we're going to tuck the toes and send the hips up for our second posture, downward facing dog. This strengthens and stretches your entire body. And it's technically a resting pose, but I know when you're beginning your practice, it probably won't feel that way. This is one that will take time to become comfortable, and until then you can keep your knees bent like I showed you here and practice straightening your legs as you open up, trying to reach the heels down and the hips up, finding as much length as you can in the backs of the legs and the spine. This is the goal, to find length and lift the hips up. It's also a mild inversion, so it can help relieve headaches and calm your nervous system. This is basically like a beginner level inversion. So this is a really active full body posture, pressing away from the floor. and then shifting your weight forward, coming into plank pose. So shoulders over the wrists, really connect to the core, draw the navel into the spine as you lift the hips up. We want to avoid banana backing our lower back. So we want to really kind of lift up and think about sending the hips up to the ceiling. So this strengthens not only your core, but also your shoulders, glutes, hamstrings, ankles, and wrists. It's a full body workout in one pose. And it will definitely start creating that heat, that energy. This is also a posture that we use in sun salutations. And carefully lowering your knees. We can stay here. If we're not ready for the full expression of plank pose, it's better to drop the knees and work your way up than practice plank pose not in the proper alignment way. To avoid injuring ourselves, we listen to our bodies and modify as you need. It's one of my best tips for you. And then coming down onto the belly, making your way into a little baby cobra. So the hands come underneath the shoulders and you press away on a big inhale, lifting the chest, drawing the elbows in close to the sides. This really helps to strengthen the lower back. It opens up the chest, shoulders, and neck, making it great to reverse desk posture. So as you breathe and lengthen through the spine, it can really decrease stiffness you find in the back body. And pressing up, we are coming up onto the feet, making your way into a high lunge. So we're going to talk about high lunge first and then warrior one. So high lunge I like better than warrior one, and I'll tell you why in a moment. High lunge improves your balance and stability while strengthening the leg, glutes, arms, and core muscles. So as these muscles contract, we can improve the function of the joints, of the knees, ankles, hips, shoulders, and elbows. As you stay here and hold, you want to think about reaching the back heel towards the back of the room, and again, lifting the hips up, not sinking into the knee. So I find this, I replace this a lot instead of warrior one, and I will tell you why. So I'm moving into warrior one to show you. The big difference here is hip alignment. So warrior one, we want to keep the hips square to the front of the room, but then also turn your back foot a little diagonal towards the mat. So grounding through the outer edge of the back foot, but it can kind of create some asymmetry in the pelvis because you're trying to keep the hips square as your foot is turned to the side. So it can be kind of hard on the joints. It can create an uneven force in your lower spine if we don't do it correctly. I just feel like it's kind of a lot of trouble. So I like to teach high lunge instead of warrior one, but feel free to learn warrior one. It's a very foundational pose. And from here, we reach into extended side angle. We can have the elbow on the knee, or we can have fingertips on the mat, but this targets and strengthens the shoulders, chest, and sides of the torso while also strengthening the lower body, calves, hamstrings, and hips. It just feels really, really nice. Trying to reach a nice long line from the fingertips to the outer edge of the back foot. And from here, we will carefully get back on our bellies to show you another posture. We are talking about bow pose. So this one is going to look very different in everybody. And we begin with our gaze down at the mat, reaching the arms by the sides, reaching for the ankles. On an exhale, you press away from the mat, lifting the ankles up high and pressing the pelvis down. So you're squeezing the glutes, lifting everything up. This stretches both the front and the back body at the same time. So it helps with your posture and spinal flexibility. And in one more moment, I'll show you another posture that does the same thing if this one does not feel good to you. It can be definitely a work in progress pose. So if you're trying along with me, don't judge yourself if it doesn't feel too great at the moment. And flipping over carefully onto your back, our next posture is bridge. So keeping your ankles under your knees, ground down through the bottoms of the feet as you exhale and send the hips up. This posture is very, very harmonizing for the chakras, so it can be energetically and emotionally healing. This one again stretches both the front and back body, and it also improves blood circulation and digestion as we connect to those lower body chakras, the internal organs. This also relieves stress as your lungs are really open and able to breathe in a lot of air here, a lot of oxygen. And then we have seated forward bend. So we stretch the lower and upper back and hamstrings here. This is a really nice posture that helps with the mind because it teaches you to breathe while being a little uncomfortable and to allow the breath to open the body slowly. We want to make sure that we're lengthening from the spine, not rounding the back, keeping the foot flexed, the toes flexing back at the face, and with every exhale, you slowly fold forward. This one takes a lot of hamstring mobility and accessibility. We can still keep a nice little bend in the knee if we need to. And this posture can also help with headaches and anxiety, fatigue. And our final posture today targets the abdominals because the core is such an important aspect of your yoga practice. Lifting up into boat pose, we shift the weight back onto the sit bones and lift the legs. This is extended boat pose. This is a little higher level. Otherwise, we can bend the knees, keep the shins parallel to the mat, and just focus on lifting the chest as close to the thighs as possible. Really igniting some heat, some energy in the core. This strengthens the abdominals, as you can imagine. It also massages the intestines to improve your digestion, stimulates kidneys and the thyroid, and strengthens the thighs and lower back. Here I'm showing you low boat pose. This is another variation. These postures are so vital to our foundational yoga practice. And with that, I leave you. These were the 10 postures I had. Give them a try if you didn't try them already with me today. Let me know how they feel, how this video went, as well as any questions or concerns. As always, I thank you for joining me on Yoga with Paige, and I look forward to the next time I see you.